There was a time when humanity may have stood at the edge of understanding and then stepped backward. Not because it failed, not because it lacked intelligence, but because something happened. Across the ancient world, we find fragments of brilliance that feel out of place in their own time, artifacts that seem too advanced, structures that appear too precise, ideas that seem too early. And when we line them up, a pattern begins to emerge, a pattern of discovery and loss. In 1901, divers searching for sponges near a small Greek island made a discovery that would shake historians more than a century later. Inside a shipwreck, preserved beneath layers of sea growth and corrosion, was a broken mass of bronze. At first, it looked meaningless, but as it was cleaned, something impossible appeared. Teeth. Gear teeth. Precision-cut interlocking gears. This object would later be named the Antikythera Mechanism. It dated back more than 2,000 years. When modern imaging technology scanned its interior, researchers discovered a mechanical system capable of predicting eclipses, tracking planetary motion, and modeling celestial cycles with astonishing accuracy. It was not decorative, it was not symbolic, it was computational. A mechanical computer built in an age we once believed barely understood complex engineering. And here is the uncomfortable truth. After its creation, nothing like it appeared again for over 1,000 years. There was no steady evolution, no simplified versions leading to greater ones, just a sudden appearance of brilliance, then silence. What happened to the knowledge required to build it? Who taught the engineers? Where were the manuals? Were they burned? Were they buried? Or were they simply forgotten when the civilization that understood them collapsed? Now travel south to Egypt. Stand before the Great Pyramid at the Giza Plateau. Even today, standing at its base is overwhelming. The sheer scale silences you. Over 2 million limestone and granite blocks, some transported from hundreds of miles away, each placed with extraordinary precision. Its base aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, its dimensions encoded with mathematical relationships that scholars still debate. The internal chambers are not random, they are calculated, measured, engineered. Modern construction projects require satellite mapping, computer modeling, and steel machinery. Ancient builders had none of these, and yet this structure has stood for more than 4,500 years. Earthquakes, sandstorms, empires rising and falling around it, still standing. But here is something rarely discussed. Later pyramids were not better. They were smaller, less precise. Some collapsed. If human knowledge naturally progresses forward, why did pyramid engineering decline? Was something lost? Was there a level of expertise that existed for a moment and then disappeared? Move west to the ancient world of the Roman Empire. The Romans built roads that still exist, aqueducts that still carry water, domes that still defy gravity, and harbors that resist the sea. For centuries, engineers could not fully understand why Roman concrete performed so well in marine environments. Modern concrete often cracks and degrades within decades. Roman harbor structures have survived for 2,000 years. Only recently did researchers uncover the secret. Volcanic ash mixed with lime created a chemical reaction when exposed to seawater. Cracks would trigger mineral growth that strengthened the structure from within. Self-healing stone. And for centuries, the exact formula was forgotten. Imagine that, an empire builds infrastructure more durable than much of what we build today, and after its collapse, that knowledge fades, not destroyed deliberately, just lost. In South America, high in the Andes Mountains, the fortress of Sacsayhuaman rises in massive stone walls. Some blocks weigh over 100 tons. They are cut in irregular, interlocking shapes. They fit so precisely that even today, experts struggle to replicate the technique. No mortar binds them, yet they withstand powerful earthquakes. Modern buildings in the same region have fallen. These stones remain. How were they transported across rugged terrain? How were they shaped with such accuracy? Why does no clear evolutionary record show the development of this method? Again, we see the same pattern: advanced execution, then disappearance. And then there was knowledge itself. In the ancient city of Alexandria stood a monument not of stone, but of thought, the Library of Alexandria, a gathering place of scholars from across the known world. It was said to contain hundreds of thousands of scrolls, works on astronomy, medicine, mathematics, engineering, philosophy. Ships docking in Alexandria were searched for books, copies were made, knowledge was collected with intention. It was humanity's attempt to preserve everything it knew, and over time, through political conflict, war, and neglect, it vanished. We do not know exactly what was lost. We only know that fragments survived. Ancient mathematicians calculated Earth's circumference with remarkable accuracy. Some thinkers proposed heliocentric models of the solar system. Early inventors experimented with steam power. If that was what survived history's destruction, what burned in the flames? History often feels stable, permanent, but it is not. It is fragile. Civilizations collapse, cities fall, libraries burn. And when they do, knowledge does not always transfer cleanly to the next generation. Sometimes it fragments. Sometimes it becomes myth. Sometimes it disappears entirely. We assume progress is linear, but history suggests something different. It suggests cycles: growth, peak, collapse, reset. And in every reset, something valuable is left behind. The greatest lost discoveries of the ancient world are not simply about technology. They are about memory, about how easily understanding can vanish, about how quickly brilliance can fade when the structures that protect it crumble. Perhaps the ancient world was not primitive. Perhaps it was interrupted. Because intelligence is not new, curiosity is not new. The desire to measure the stars, to understand the earth, to build something that lasts. Those desires are ancient, and in moments scattered across time, humanity achieved extraordinary things, then lost them. And maybe, just maybe, we are not the first civilization to stand at the edge of extraordinary understanding. We are simply the latest, and somewhere beneath sand, ocean floors, and ruined cities, there are still discoveries waiting to remind us that knowledge can change the world, and that losing it can change the world even more. Subscribe for more ancient mysteries and forgotten history.